So a couple weeks ago, I got this shotgun to drop from a world drop. I'm sure you probably heard of it before. It's a Ded Gramarye IV. I think I'm saying that right. I got a couple versions to drop here, and I really want to make a video on this because this is I believe this is the first shotgun to roll with chain reaction or volt shot, and I kind of wanted to cover that. So obviously, chain reaction did get nerfed, I believe, with the final shape, but I wanted to test out and see how effective this shotgun is, because this basically has some really good ad clear perks, and normally you don't use a shotgun for ad clear. So I thought, what better time than to just use no backup plans with this and, you know, see how good it is. Now, this shotgun can also roll first column discord, and normally discord isn't something I go for, but with this being a special weapon, this is really good. So basically how discord is going to work is I'm going to swap to my primary, get one kill, swap back over to my shotgun, and then basically I'll have discord for around 7 seconds, I believe. I think you have a little bit of a longer duration with the enhanced version, which is what I have here. But basically, getting a kill is going to refund me 1 ammo, and it's going to regenerate the bullet. It's not just from reserves, it's from thin air. So ammo economy with this weapon is fantastic. The Ded Gramarye IV also has wildcard on it, which I haven't noticed too much that this procs, but this is also, I guess, more AoE stuff that happens too, which is cool. This is a lightweight shotgun, which is really fun to run around with in PvE. But yeah, I got this with chain reaction, and I also wanted to test out volt shot and see how this fares as well. Obviously, I'll have to reload after every shot, so I did get a reload speed masterwork on this one. I really wanted to get this shotgun with discord and try to make it work with volt shot. As you know, since discord is going to be refunding 1 bullet back into my shotgun, like into the mag, it's going to be more difficult to proc volt shot, so maybe it's better off not getting discord. So from my experience with using, I tested out both these shotguns in just some legendary Witch Queen missions, that one really dense encounter, and both surprised me. As you can probably tell, you'll probably ask yourself this question: is this the most effective way to clear ads? No. I think we all know that the answer is just simply no. It's just not safe enough. But is it a fun way to clear ads? Hell yeah. In my opinion, yeah. And honestly, sometimes fun outweighs effectiveness. So with the chain reaction shotgun, I think my overall experience was, it was pretty good. I mean, chain reaction is okay. I found myself still having to sometimes put several pellets into even just like an acolyte to kill it. But I was proccing discord a decent amount of the time. It's still overall really good for ammo economy. And the chain reaction was pretty good. I find myself just continuing to try to shoot like an acolyte or something that's a little bit lower health rather than like a knight or something, proc that chain reaction, and keep just trying to get that one shot kill on lower ads to keep proccing chain reaction. As opposed to the volt shot one, I actually think volt shot is just so good even for endgame, you know, a harder content. Even on this shotgun, I think I like volt shot more than chain reaction. Of course, you have to reload after every single kill that you get, but volt shot is genuinely like that good where I feel like I don't have to limit myself to try to kill a smaller tier ad just so I can get that one shot kill and proc chain reaction. With volt shot, you know, I am going to be using more ammo, and that's the one downside, but the good thing is I can just proc volt shot on whatever target I want. I can shoot at the knights, the ogres, the acolytes, the boss, whatever I want, and I'm able to just get volt shot procced. And as you see, like, the lightning chaining is just way more effective. However, I do burn through ammo like considerably faster than the discord chain reaction combo. But yeah, I did wish that I got this shotgun with discord and volt shot, just because I'm curious of a couple things. Because obviously discord's better for ammo economy, and especially with volt shot, you need enough ammo in reserves to keep on continuously reloading your weapon. But with discord, I'm not sure, because you could like fire 1 bullet, because I don't think discord is going to overlap. I think no matter how many kills you get per shot, it's still just going to load 1. So I think if you just honestly just shoot off a shot at nothing and then keep on shooting and reloading with Discord active, it honestly might still work too. Like I said, I really wish I got one with Discord voltshot to kind of test that theory out. But yeah, I have this paired on Prismatic. You know, Prismatic's new and stuff. I finally got all the fragments unlocked like last week, so that's good. And I just been throwing on some stuff, trying some stuff out. I think that I really like the whole idea of suspending a lot of targets, since I am running into enemies' faces with a shotgun and, you know, in legendary content. So what I found was really useful, honestly, is so I'm using my thruster with Drenger's Lash, and this does work with my thruster, so I'm able to suspend enemies, which is pretty good. And also, I'm trying this out with Unbreakable. Originally, I think I had it on Knockout, but with Unbreakable, honestly, sometimes it's difficult to close the gap between enemies, right? And sometimes it's good to honestly lead with this, block damage as I'm moving closer to the enemies, and then use the ability, get a Void Overshield, which is proccing no backup plans. That's going to make my shotguns deal increased damage, and then I'm sort of just able to slay out. Although I probably wouldn't recommend running this with Shackle Grenade just because of the cooldown. Honestly, any of these other nades, like your Pulse Grenade, and then maybe using a Fragment for having them jolt targets or something like that. But I was just trying this out with double suspend, basically. And then so just to go over no backup plans, while I have a Void super equipped, so that's going to work on Prismatic because I have the new Void super equipped. Rapid Shotgun Final Blows, or defeating a powerful combatant with a shotgun, is going to give me a Void Overshield and start health reg. And then also, while I have the Void Overshield, my shotguns are going to deal additional damage. And as long as I have that Void Overshield, shotgun kills are going to keep on refreshing it. But yeah, I slapped on some fragments, still figuring stuff out, but I definitely recommend Facet of Protection, because that's just going to give you more damage resistance when you're surrounded by enemies, and obviously you're going to be always surrounded by enemies with this playstyle. I also highly recommend Facet of Purpose, so basically getting an Orb of Power is, since we have the Void super on, we're going to be getting more Void Overshield, which is really nice, because obviously that's going to proc my no backup plan, shotgun damage, and all that stuff. And then I was also using Facet of Hope, so basically while I have an elemental buff that's going to be amplified, cure, radiant restoration, devour, invisibility, and overshield. So while I have that overshield, my class ability is going to regenerate more quickly, allowing me to use my thruster more often and suspend more enemies. So yeah, those are the fragments that I recommend. And honestly, like, I had 3 other fragment slots, are honestly like entirely up to you. In case anyone cares, I mean, the armor mods I have on aren't too complicated. Obviously, I have an arc siphon on for generating those orbs with my shotgun, and I just have a special ammo finder and a scout just so I can get a little bit more special ammo, because sometimes I'm still burning through that special ammo, especially in harder content. Since I'm getting grenade and melee energy from prismatic fragments and stuff, I've actually tried to opt for bolstering detonation and focusing strike. Damaging things with my grenade or with my melee ability are just going to be giving me my thruster more often. I just have triple resist just for general play. Obviously, you know, run on your chest, whatever resist matches the activity you're playing. I just have 1 arc surge. I do have better already just to help regen my health when picking up an orb. And then with elemental charge, I'm sometimes destroying some strand tangles, which is giving me some armor charge sometimes because of Facet of Awakening. And then I have powerful attraction on my class, so when I activate my thruster, I should be picking up orbs and other elemental pickups that are nearby. And then I also, since I'm going to be surrounded usually by a bunch of targets, distribution's really nice. And then I also just slapped on bomber. Honestly, like, if I had enough energy, I could probably put on 2 things of distribution to get even more ability energy, since I'm spamming my thruster usually near targets. For my artifact here, I thought there were a few things worth mentioning for this. So Shield Crush, while I have my Void Overshield, my melee is going to recharge faster and deal more damage. And then with Radiant Orbs, picking up a Orb of Power is going to make me Radiant. And then while being Radiant, I'm also getting increased grenade recharge rate and damage as well. On top of that, I have a couple Void things. I believe that your axes weaken targets, and that's going to help you get a little bit of a Void Overshield, further helping you with no backup plans. And then I have Expanding Abyss, so Void Sources deal increased damage to weakened targets, which again, I'm just weakening targets with my super, or like with those axes. But if I wanted to take this another step further, I could run like something like Tractor Cannon instead of Legend of Acryus. And then the last one, which I heavily recommend, is since I'm creating some tangles because of Facet of Awakening, which is going to give me an elemental pickup of the matching damage type. So that's like with my melee or shackle or suspend, it's gonna make a tangle. And then since breach light is strand, sometimes I'll just swap over to breach light and honestly shoot that tangle, and that tangle explosion is pretty damn effective, especially when you're surrounded by enemies. But yeah, I've been pairing this with the new breach light, which cooks, by the way. I tried out a few different weapons with this, but basically I just wanted something that I could swap to quickly to just snag one kill, so I could proc Discord and then swap back to my shotgun. My breachlight has average handling, and I also put quick access sling on, so the handling was pretty decent, but the breachlight just cooks for a primary sidearm. Like, it's a 2-burst and they do a lot more damage than most of your primaries. So it was something I could just quickly quickly snag a kill with and then swap back to my shotgun. But there are a ton of other weapons you can use. I just wanted something that was close range and just good at single target damage and getting a single kill. And then since I'm running no backup plans, honestly, Legend of Acryus, just obviously with the Void Overshield and then Trench Barrel, I'm just going to be doing crazy damage and, you know, doubling down on that Arc Surge. But honestly, like, you could run Tractor Cannon, there's so many different things that you could use. I just think as long as you just have the main fundamental down of just using this shotgun with rather chain reaction or volt shot and no backup plans, like, you're just gonna be able to run around, have decent survivability, and just really fun ad clear. So like I said at the beginning of the video, do I think this is the most effective way to clear ads and play the game? No, absolutely not. But is this fun? In my opinion, yeah, it is fun. Obviously, it's super situational. I'm honestly gonna be running this to even just like when I gotta clear strikes and stuff, or maybe some little bit end game-ish, but not quite GM level activities. I might be running this as well. Titan isn't my main class, but honestly, like, this Loto has just been super fun. It's one of the most Titan playstyles of all time, and yeah, it's honestly just a blast.